Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amir Aiman bin Rozalni from group 1-1 and my metric number is AE1844. So today I would like to do activity 1 where my part is to switching on of the MSB. Okay, before we do this activity, we must alert to the PPE for LVSB switching. Okay, and we must the first thing is we must wear a safety helmet for a fireproof shield, and the second one we must wear a fireproof suit, and the third one is we must wear a electrical insulation glove, and the last one we must wear a electrical hazard boot. Okay, and we must make sure, okay, this is MSB. Okay, we must make sure the fire extinguisher and safety mat must have at the around the LVSB panel, and after that we must check of the history of the maintenance of the LVSB inside of the logbook. So next we continue to the process to switching on of the MSB. So we continue to switching on of the MSB. Okay, this we have MSB. Okay, MSB. Inside of the MSB we have air circuit breaker. So we have bus bar, and this is indicator light. Same indicator light. Okay, now how we to turn on of the MSB. Okay, and the first one we must make sure all of the load is in off condition and ACB also in off position. Okay, this is ACB must off, and all the load must all off MSCCB inside of the bus bar. Okay, after all in good condition, we must turn on the incoming supply beside of the MSB to give supply to the ACB first. Okay, but ACB must in off position. Okay, off position, and we check the indicator of the main supply. Okay, and it turn to the blue and already give supply to the ACB, air circuit breaker. Okay, and next we must do process to connect ACB to the bus bar, but before that we must turn on this ACB. Okay, the air circuit breaker. Okay, to turn on the ACB, we must use a charging handle inside of the compartment of the ACB. Okay, inside of the compartment of the MCB. Okay, but we must make sure this in off position. Okay, in off position. And after we get the charging handle, the process to turn on this, okay, to connect, to transform from disconnect to connect condition, we must use charging handle. We put inside the whole of the ACB. Okay, and we turn the charging handle to the clockwise until the status of the ACB turn to the connected position, from disconnect to connected position. Okay, connected position. Okay, after the ACB turn from disconnect to connected, okay, already connected, we must remove the charging handle. Okay, charging handle, and put inside of the ACB compartment again. Okay, and we just turn on this ACB. Okay, but before that we must make sure the coil must in charging condition. Okay, this ACB is in charging condition. Okay, if this ACB in discharge condition, we must use a charging handle. Okay, we must use a charging handle. We pulling up and down until the ACB shown charging condition. Okay, and next we just turn on the ACB. Okay, just turn on the ACB, and we check the bus bar indicator light. Okay, this bus bar indicator light. Okay, and now the ACB is already give supply to the consumer side. Okay, and we already to turn on the bus bar, all of the MCCB and the power factor. And the first thing is we must turn on the power factor capacitor first to monitor the system of the power factor. And the last one we must on of the MCCB. Okay, and now main switchboard already on and already to give the supply to the consumer. But before that, before we on the MCCB and the power factor, okay, we must inform people into the consumer side to avoid the accident in consumer side. Okay, that's all from me. Process of the switching on of the MSB. Okay, thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Abdul Muiz bin Muhammad Nasir. My metric number is AE180006. Alright, today I will present about the bus bar coupling of MSB1 and MSB2. Alright, for the process of this coupling, for the first step, we need to make sure both of these MSB1 and MSB2 need in the turn on condition, which is normal condition. So when both MSB in the normal condition, they will supply the voltage and current. So from there we can do the bus bar coupling for MSB1 and MSB2. Right. So and the next step, before we do the coupling, we need to make sure the key at the C1 and C2 here are put or track condition in the key exchange box here. So it will also will trade in the SCB. For bus bar coupling, before that, for bus bar coupling, one of them between MSB1 and MSB2 need to be turned off, and one of them must be in the switching conditions. So it cannot be both MSB1, MSB2 cannot be both turned off or both turned on in order for the bus bar applying to happen. Because for the best part of coupling to happen, we need to make sure that one have a source and another one are cut off switch, that the other panel will have to supply the source. So for the example, here there are two transformers. There are two transformers here. There are two transformers feeding at the MSB1. So the MSB1 here, the MSB1 will be turned off, and then we need to coupling supply from the MSB2. We need to coupling supply from the MSB2 to support the MSB1 panel. So manually, the bus bar coupling can occur on MSB2 here, which are they will turn on to be help the MSB1, which is MSB1 in the turn off condition. Alright, after that, we remove the ACB key and then lock it to the key exchange box here, and then the two isolated keys here, which are C1 and C2, should be used to free the interlocks on the bus tile isolated. That's all bus start isolated with the MSB1 and MSB2 here. Alright, after that, then we remove the C1 key and then lock it to the MSB2 and MSB2 interlock. It will be interlock isolate the key and do not isolate the key at MSB1. So from there it will free interlocks isolator. So both interlocks isolator now free to be switched on, thus completing the bus bar coupling operation. The respective possible supply indicator lamp here will indicate that respective panel keys are energized by other panels. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Wafi, Takwide Beusut, AE180025. Okay, for this exercise 4, LVSB system and operation, I will explain about the normal supply restore. Okay, this is the component that is needed for the normal supply restore. This is the LVCB board. This is the ACB, and this is the bus bar and main supply. Okay, the process to restore the normal supply is, first step is we need to inform the consumer first to turn off the supply so that we can avoid any perilous and dangerous incident. And then for the second one is we have to turn off the power supply, which is the RCCB button here. We just turn off, and button here too we turn off. Button 2, button supply 2, button supply 3, button 4. We just have to turn it off. Okay, we just turn it off. And also don't forget we have to turn off the power factor capacitor band, which is located outside and above the power factor controller, which is this is the power factor controller, and we have to turn off like another button. We have to turn off the capacitor, the power factor capacitor band here, just like another button above it. Okay, then we have to check the meter. Okay, we have to check the meter here. This is the meter, the current meter. We have to ensure that the current meter has 0 ampere so that we can make sure that there's no current in it. Okay, then we have to turn on the isolator, which is this is the isolator at the MCB1. Okay, we just turn it on like we just turn it on like this, clockwise. We turn on the C1. And then after we turn it on, we have to check the bus bar. We have to check the bus bar supply so that this button will light up, indicate it is energized. Okay, then we repeat the same step for the MCB2. Okay. This is the MCB2 and this is the MCB1. So we have just turn it on like the MCB1 that I showed you before. That we have to turn it on the C2. Okay, the C2. After we have turned it on, we have to turn off the isolator by removing the isolator key. The isolator key is that, okay, this is the key. So we just the key we just remove like this. Then we have to put it into the PO2 that located at the PO2 MSB1. So we just put like that. And also we have to remove the isolator key at the MCB1 and put it above the key of isolator 2. Okay, then we have to move the ACB key. It's between the accelerator key MSB1 and MSB2. We just put it like that, and we have to insert to the ACB. This is the ACB, but I print out the bigger image so that the lecturer can clearly see this ACB1. So we have into the ACB. This is the MCB. We insert the key by doing clockwise. Then make sure that the ACB in the isolated condition. Okay. Then we have to turn on the isolator. The isolator is beside this LVSB board. Okay. The aim is to give the power to the MCB1. Then, how we know that the MSB is on? Okay, we have to check the voltage. Then we have to charge the ACB, by doing the charging process to ensure it is in charge position. Okay, how to charge it? So we pull the handle in the equipment base. So we just connect like this. Then we have to pull clockwise too. Okay, until the ACB is on. Okay, it will produce a clock sound, so it is indicated on. We have to turn it on by clicking here. Push a little hard. Okay, like that. And then we have to check the bus bar or main supply or voltage to ensure that the LVSB board in balanced condition or no. Okay, then we have to add in MSB1 is totally ready to supply to the load, which is the consumer. And then we have to, the initial phase is that we have to turn off the button here, right? So the last step for the normal supply restore, we have to turn on it back. So we have to turn on the RCCB button, supply 2, 3 and 4, we just have to turn it on, and also turn on the power bank, the power factor capacitor. And then for the next step, we have to check the current here, the current usage if have increment, and wait the system a few minutes around so that it is in stable condition. And then after all the maintenance process is done, we have to remove danger signal here, indicates that the system is safely to use. Okay, next is we have to record or state all the work that we have done into the logbook for the servicing record purpose. Finally, after completion coupling and switching, we have to ensure that we close the permit that applied before so that all the LVSB board perfectly well. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.